everyone's like wondering why they can't win on the road. What's wrong with the Golden State Warriors? I'll tell you, they don't have anybody that can guard. And I'll tell you who's emerged as a good defensive player but can't be your main lockdown guy is DiVincenzo. So DiVincenzo is your second, third best defensive player. Klay Thompson's your fourth best defensive player, and you still have Steph Curry and the experience. Yes, that's where I'd be looking as the next favorite. But I really, if you're just asking from a betting standpoint, like I still think the money is good on Sacramento, like to throw something down on them, and you can kind of back out of that bet if they can get out of the first round with some pretty favorable odds going against them. So I do think the Warriors are the team, but I think Sacramento's a lot better than the public is letting on to.
As Amal quickly,
Yeah,
Sacramento 25-1, so it'd be a good bet there. Go ahead, Amal.
No question about it. I want to stay with the Kings. Tonight they're playing the Warriors at home. They're sitting everybody on their roster, it seems like, tonight against Golden State. Golden State currently in sixth place, tied with the Clippers. If you wind up in the 5 spot, Brian, you're going to face off against the Phoenix Suns. Give me the perspective from both sides here. As a former player, you just kind of take whoever's in front of you, or as a team, do you look at it and say, hey, we got a better shot to beat the Kings than potentially the Suns?
Yeah, the King. I would avoid the Suns at all costs, especially in the first round. Like all three of those guys have. Well, Devin Booker is not injury prone, but he's dealt with some injuries. Kevin Durant, enough said with the injury. He sprained his ankle during warmups, and Chris Paul historically. The only series he's got through, the only year he got through, they went to the NBA Finals, right? Like most of the time he's pulling a hamstring, got a bad knee, a bad hand, a bad foot, a bad this, a bad that. So I don't want to play the Phoenix Suns in the first round. So if I'm the Golden State Warriors, I'll go even as far as this. And I know this sounds a little nutty. Give me the 7-8 play-in where I can go and play Memphis. If I have to, forget, I want to play Sacramento. If that's not an option, I have an option of playing the Suns in the first round or go and play at a play-in game at home, win that, and go to Memphis. I'll take that over Suns in the first round. That's how strong I believe you want to avoid the Suns in the first round, because I think the longer a series goes, the more chance those guys have of getting nicked up and missing some time. So that's how strong I would try to avoid the Suns. But I tell you one team that probably won't duck them, it's Clippers. The Clippers, in their weird, warped world, even though Paul George is hurt, I think that they're we'll play anybody. We believe we have the best team, and Kawhi Leonard is going to prove that he's one of the best players in the NBA once again. So I would be shocked if the Clippers don't end up 5, just don't flirt around and go up. But the Golden State Warriors want to finish 6th, but that might be out of their control if they mess around and end up being 7th. But I would take that over trying to play the Phoenix Suns in the first round.
Okay, Brian, last question. We just have a minute. I'm going to ask you the same question about the East. The Bucks, the Celtics, and 76ers, obviously the big three. Do you find any value after those 3 teams coming out of the East?
Probably the Knicks, right? There's good numbers on the Knicks. You might be able to back out of that if Chris Middleton can't survive and somehow they could get out of that Cleveland series. So I'm not looking at it like they move on and go there. I'm looking at it like you can hedge your bet and make money on that. That's the way I look at the Sacramento Kings and the New York Knicks. And you want to get really funky, you can put them as a parlay to go to the finals. I think it's like 70. I think it's like a plus 74,000 or something like that. So I know it's a long shot, but I kind of like if certain things happen, you never know, but you might be able to back out of both of those and make some money. So I think the Knicks could be a good buy.
No, great hedge opportunity. The Knicks right now to get out of the East, 40-1 at DraftKings. So wonderfully put. Brian Scalabrine.